And Donald Trump announces full blockade on Iranian shipping, says Strait of Hormuz open to others, and he also drops the 20% Hormuz toll plan, says Gulf investments will replace reimbursement fee. So Donald Trump has now announced a full blockade on the ships traveling to and from Iranian ports or carrying Iranian cargo. In fact, he also said that the Strait of Hormuz remains open to all other international shipping, crediting the U.S. military for securing the vital waterway. In fact, he also praised Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Joint Chiefs the military personnel for their role in the operation. He said that the U.S. would replace the proposed 20% reimbursement fee with trade and investment agreements from Gulf nations, calling the expected investments massive. He claimed that the new investments would boost U.S. manufacturing factories and millions of high-paying jobs. And also reiterating his stance on Iran, Trump declared that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon and also accused Iran's leadership of leading the country towards total destruction. My colleague Rohit Sharma continues to stay with us. Rohit, what prompted Donald Trump to drop the 20% Hormuz toll that he had announced just yesterday? And is that the reason behind this new deal with the Gulf countries?
That is precisely what he posted onto social, Anjali. He said, he's not going to be charging the 20% toll on ships that would be passing through the Strait of Hormuz. He came back and said, look, he spoke to the Middle Eastern partners and they would be investing in America instead of creating jobs. So one way of President Donald Trump driving the message home that he's made a good deal with the Middle Eastern partners, and he's listening to the partners in the Middle East to make a determination that, maybe there's a better way, to essentially bring more money and investment into America. Again, the 20%, sort of tax, tariff, whatever you want to call it, was again planned to bring in more money and investment in the U.S. I think President Trump putting out that message clearly and saying that he has not moved away from that goal. There's another way to do it, and that would be Middle Eastern partners investing in America. And hence he's making that decision or doing a U-turn on collecting that 20% toll from any and other ship passing to Strait of Hormuz. Again, very, very interesting developments. As I was saying, Anjali, I think we do not know where this will land. But from the looks of it, I think rapidly developing situation. We'll have to wait and watch. President Trump in another interview today said that the Iranians had agreed to a deal 3 days ago. He said there was an agreement, and then Iranian went back to the leadership and came back and said we have to discuss more. So I think they're testing the patience of President Donald Trump at this point in time. But good news. Essentially, none of the ships passing to Strait of Hormuz would have to pay the 20% toll that he had announced yesterday, Anjali.
Rohit, do stay with us. So, sigh of relief that the ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz will not have to pay 20% toll, as was announced by Donald Trump. Although the blueprint wasn't announced, how the toll will be collected was not announced. But now, 24 hours after that announcement, he has announced that he has decided to drop that decision. In fact, there will be massive investments by the Gulf countries into the United States. Let's understand the Trump's sea blockade of Iran. So what has Trump announced? Let's understand in detail. He has said that there will be full blockade on ships to and from Iranian ports. Any ship passing to and from Iranian ports will be blockaded, and ships carrying Iranian cargo will also be targeted by the United States. Hormuz remain open for all other shipping and except for Iran, and US says that freedom of navigation will continue in the Strait of Hormuz, essentially saying that the Strait of Hormuz remains operational. It is very much open, and all the other ships except for Iran can pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Hormuz toll U-turn by Donald Trump. So 20% Hormuz policing fee has now been dropped. The Gulf trade and investment deals will be replacing this fee. Trump expects massive investments from the Gulf states, and he also says that deals will create factories and high-paying U.S. jobs. This is the price for dropping the 20% toll in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, what is the message to Iran? Trump has said that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. He also says that Iranian leaders are leading country to total destruction. He also reaffirmed maximum pressure on Tehran, and he credited the U.S. military for securing the Strait of Hormuz.